And after the Sports Ministry formed an oversight panel to probe the charges by the wrestlers, Bajrang Punia now tweets that they were not consulted before the committee was formed. He has tweeted, and I quote, "We were assured that we would be consulted before oversight committee was formed. It is very sad that we were not even consulted before the formation of this committee," unquote. There was an intervention by the Union Sports Ministry, and they had agreed to various demands that the wrestlers had made, and it was said that the committee will have the name suggested, or there would be a consultation process that would be carried out with the wrestlers. Now, Bajrang Punia, somebody who was at the front leading that protest, is saying they were not consulted, due process was not followed. Nikhil Lakhwani with us on the broadcast. Nikhil, tell us more.
So, Anusha, Bajrang Punia and Vinesh Fogart, these two were the wrestlers who also sat on the protesters, so we can call them the protesters as well. And Bajrang Punia is was the face of the protest, and now they both have put out a tweet in the public domain, clearly alleging that they were assured by the Sports Minister Anurag Singh Thakur that during the formation of the Oversight Committee, consultations will take place with the protesters as well. But this is something which has not taken place. If we go by the details, this is the Oversight Committee which has been formed in consideration with the Sports Ministry, which is going to be headed by MC Mary Kom, who is the Khel awardee and former boxer as well. It is a 5-member committee which has been formed by the Sports Minister to check out the day-to-day event as far as the functioning of the Wrestling Federation of India is concerned, and also they are going to check on the investigation as to what the allegations are as far as the Wrestling Federation of India is concerned, and against the Brij Bhushan Sharan as well, who is the WFI former boss, so to say, because he has to step aside during the course of the 4 weeks inquiry, and this is something for which the report has to be submitted by the committee in 4 weeks. So now the dissatisfaction is coming in from the wrestlers or the protesters, so to say. They are clearly saying that during the formation of the oversight committee, they were not involved in that particular thing. Remember, during last days, we have seen that 3 days were when the wrestlers or the champions of the country, they sat on the protest on the Jantar Mantar site here in the national capital. They were demanding for the dismissal and dissolution of the entire WFI forum, and at the same time they were demanding for the resignation of WFI boss as well, who has been stepped aside for now. We have seen that how multiple round of discussions took place between the wrestlers and the Sports Minister. Then finally it was announced in the public domain in presence of Anurag Singh Thakur that the wrestlers are going to call off the protest because oversight committee will now take over the entire activity as far as the WFI is concerned. But now it seems like the wrestlers who were part of the protest, they were not consulted in the first place as far as the formation of the same is concerned, and also they are now dissatisfied with the formation of the same. Back to you, Anusha.
Nikhil, there was hectic negotiations that had happened between the government and the protesting wrestlers. There were multiple demands that were made by the wrestlers. The Union Sports Minister Anurag Thakur himself sat down with the wrestlers, devised a plan, and with much difficulty there was a solution that had been reached. There was a press conference as well that the Union Law Minister addressed with the protesting wrestlers. With this kind of statement being made by Bajrang Punia, anything else that you've picked up from the side of the wrestlers? Are they going to resume the protests? Are they in conversation with the government? Any other details that you're picking up?
Well, the point which you have mentioned, whether they are going to resume the protest or not, this is something which were during the reports as well few days back. There were talks like that the Federation of the Wrestlers, they are reportedly not happy with the decision which has been taken by the Sports Ministry. But we are hardly believing that they will be again out in the public domain. They will sit on the protest, because this is something for which, if we talk about that particular move by the wrestlers, this was also criticized, because many of the questions were raised to the protesters as well, that did they consult the sexual harassment cell which is a part of WFI in the first place or not, and did they approach the competent authority for the allegations or not. So they were also subjected for the questioning as well. So hardly we believe that they are going to again sit in for the protest which they sat on in the national capital Delhi. But clearly it seems like that there is some sort of dissatisfaction among all the wrestlers. But if we go by the further details, we have tried speaking to many of the wrestlers as well. They were, since the very first place, they were not satisfied with the entire thing which broke out, because at the end, in the starting of the protest, they wanted all the limelight, but they were refraining from meeting any of the media person, be it on record, off record. There were many of the couple of discussions which were taking place behind the scenes as well. If you remember, Brij Bhushan Sharan Singh, Anusha, he was also expected to address a press conference citing that there is a larger conspiracy which is taking place against him, but he in fact cancelled that entire press conference for 2 times. And now what we see, that this is the kind of dissatisfaction which is coming in from across the wrestlers. So not just Bajrang Punia, who was the face of the protest, Anusha, Vinesh Fogart as well, who was very much vocal during the entire controversy. She has also put out a tweet in the public domain citing that there is, the wrestlers committee, they were not consulted while forming the oversight committee, which is now under the sports ministry by Anurag Thakur. Back to you.
Nikhil Lakhwani getting us all the details. All eyes on what the wrestlers decide to do next. Their argument is that as and when the oversight committee has been formed, they were earlier assured that they would be consulted, but they have not been consulted, while the oversight committee has already been formed. We'll continue tracking